Hey guys, how's everything going? This is JSer. Several days ago, TypeScript 5.2 came out. So let's take a look at what's new in the box. The first one is using keyword still being drafted currently on stage 3. So possibly soon we will see be officially supported by browser vendors. TypeScript supported this earlier in this version. So because it's new, let's take a look at the rationale for its creation. For example, we have to do some work on a file. In the end, we need to close the file or we need to delete it, right? The code looks good until we have some conditions to return earlier. Even if we stop the process earlier, we still need to do the cleanup. And now we have the duplication of these two pieces of code. You can see that totally the same. To improve this, we could put them into a try finally block. Remember, the finally block, the code inside of finally will be run no matter what. So even if you return here, the code will still be run. That's by spec. So that's what finally does. So if we do something like this, we are sure we are guaranteed that the cleanup work will be done. So it's so far so good, but it's kind of like according to the spec proposal, this looks not cool because there might be a lot of cases doing some work like this. I haven't ever used the case like this before, but what I can think of is if you are doing some API request, if you do some preparation work and then fetch a request and somehow you cancel it, it works something like you are return earlier, right? Short return. But I think the preparation work needs to be revoked. That's sort of like the cleanup. So this is something like to prevent the memory leak or something. So this is some possible cases I can think of. Because there might be many cases using this pattern, why don't we make it like first class citizen in JavaScript? So here we are. The first thing, you like this here. The const, we have a new keyword called using. Basically the same as const, except using means that inside of this block, the object in this variable assigned to this variable, its disposal cleanup. Its cleanup defined by symbol dispose will be called no matter what. So simple, right? So you can see the temp file. We create a class here, and we define the disposal function by symbol.dispose, doing a cleanup. So yeah, looks perfectly. And what's even better is that What's even better is that it supports async. So here's the example of doing the async one. Like do some work async. Here return an async, async dispose, and before using we can add the await. So it will work perfectly as you would expect. Let's take a look at an example about the order here. So using these loggy, the value returned by loggy, you can see he has this symbol.dispose. He has another log. This loggy disposable will be disposed at the end of this block, and it will be stacked if there are multiple calls of using. So A, B, and these two will be disposed in order of B, A at the end. So if we take a look at the log, it will be A, B. Here's another new block, so it's C, D. So at the end of this block, these two using will be disposed in backwards because they're stacked. So it's DC, and then using E again, so E, and here return. So this F will not be reached. It will stop here, but as we said, at the end of this block, all the disposables will be disposed. So ABE, we have EBA. Cool. So that's it. You might think there's another paragraph would be the error. The good thing is that no matter what the errors are, they'll all be rethrown after the disposal. So here's an example. Like say we here run the function. Here is using and we throw an error. So this error will be run after the disposal of A. It will be rethrown. And what's even better is that if the cleanup has an error thrown again, it will be rethrown after the disposal too. And if you take a look at the order, obviously this first will be this B error will be thrown, and then we try to clean up, and then this error A will be thrown, and actually there will be one error, which is called a suppressed error. Is obviously this is A, but it has a suppressed property pointing to the suppressed error, which is B, because it's before A, so the latter one suppressed the former one. So you got B. Cool. So that's all for using, I think. Yeah. Oh, here's another example. Say, oh, here. So what we want to do is actually just to make sure the cleanups are done. But in order to do that, we need to create a class which has the symbol.dispose method. This kind of like find a canon to do some little work. We actually don't want to make it so complex, right? So in order to make it less intrusive change, we could take advantage of this new class called disposable stack. It's kind of like we are creating some disposable, which especially for this ad hoc cleanups. So you see that we don't need to create a temp file, create a well-defined class anymore. We just do what we want. We open a path, open it, and then we need to want to clean up, right? In order to make sure the cleanup is run, we create this disposable stack object, and then it has this method called defer. Just like you can think of the callback will be deferred to the end of the block. So this one will be committed no matter what, even if we return earlier here. It's pretty cool. I love this way if it's simple. Great, that's all for using. And the second one is decorator. Well, this is also a new feature added recently. I think the proposal has been there for quite a few years, because remember 6 years ago I tried to create some plugin to customize the decorator syntax. But anyway, so this decorator basically means it allows you to decorate the class method or function or anything else. So here we have a class. We set the full cast property to 1 to 3. We use this decorator set metadata. You can see that set metadata. This is target and the context. Context means that what are you actually decorating? If we take a look at this line, actually we don't know where it is, right? So you need some context information to tell you that it is a class property inside of a class. So this class context holds important stuff. Inside this set of metadata, we just modify the metadata property on the context and set it the context name to true. So after doing this, we are setting the metadata with two property names, which is full, and the other one is bar, and also this bass, right? So later, so in this new version, they're adding this symbol.metadata. So this is a class, and it has symbol metadata. And we can log it. JSON to stringify our metadata. You can see that bar, bass, foo are all there. The great thing about this is that this is wait a minute. Yeah. Cool. A very good example showed here is like if you want to partially serialize or deserialize a class. for example, the person here, we don't want to serialize the first name or last name here. We only want to serialize age or full name. That's why we can add this decorator serialize and put it into a metadata. And so in the to JSON means the stringify. We can create our own version of stringify. Inside of it, we check the context, check the metadata. Only that means we are only picking up the serialized, only picking up the property name which has this decorator alongside of it. Yeah, that's all for this one, I think. Nothing too special about it. Another one is some improvement over named tuple. Actually, I didn't know this before. Like, actually, for a tuple type, you can add give it a label, which give it a name. So it actually makes the debugging message when you have an error, makes it easier to read, I think. And there are some improvements in this version. For before, they don't allow you to mix some named elements with like the plain elements. This is not allowed previously, but now it's okay. Because before, you have to set a rest to if we have this triple rest operator. But now you don't need to do it. Cool. That's pretty cool. Easier method usage for union of arrays. Like we have an array. It's either a string array or a number array, but we put them in the union. But actually, this array we cannot use filter. This looks absurd, right? Yeah, I didn't know that, but it actually cannot, are not able to do it. So TypeScript has this made some compromise. So it's for these two will be transforming into array of string or number. Actually, they're not equal. This loses the semantics that all the array items are having the same, all have the same type. And this one has the semantics, but not this one. So doing this compromise makes this filter work, but actually has this caveat. Yeah. TypeScript think this is sort of improvement. Okay, copying array methods. I didn't know this before, actually. We are adding the new method to like reverse, sort, splice, to reverse, to sorted, to splice. This too, I think I love it. It just I love it. It doesn't help that much, but it's very handy. As we all know, that reverse, sort, splice just alter the array inline. This one will create a copy and without touching the original array. Yeah. Symbol as weak map or weak sets as the key. So it cannot be used as key before. I didn't know that. Wow. Okay. Well, I have never used weak set and weak map before. Okay. Type only. This some like resolving improvement. These are the VS Code improvement. Okay, that's all for 5.2. The biggest change was the using. I would say it might be pretty useful for the API fetching related work or library authors. Cool, that's it. See you next time. Bye.